I recently played through Turok, the Dinosaur Hunter, for the Nintendo 64, and I actually had a pretty good time with it, to be honest. Back in the day when I was a kid and I was gaming on the N64, we never had the first one. We actually had Turok 2, and it wasn't until a few years later that I think we ended up eventually getting it or borrowing a copy from somebody, but I don't remember playing Turok 1 ever. And so I finally jumped in and I played through Turok. I played the Steam version, so it's a remaster of it. But anyway, Turok is actually based off of a comic book with a comic book character named Turok, which his first appearance was back in 1954. I did not know this. I thought that Turok was just a IP that Acclaim made, but it wasn't. So Acclaimed actually bought Valiant Comics, is what they were called, in 1994 for a lot of money, and that's who owned Turok. They bought him for $65 million, and then they also bought Iguana for $5 million, which Iguana is one of the developers that helped develop this game. So yeah, it was developed by Iguana Entertainment and published by Acclaimed in March of 1997 for the Nintendo 64 and the PC. And then, like I mentioned, I played the remastered version. That was done by Night Dive in 2015. I couldn't really find any exact sales numbers, but I do know that I think it was within the first 2 months Turok had sold over 1 million units. So, I mean, it was a fairly popular game. Turok the Dinosaur Hunter. I want to talk about the plot because this game came out around the time where there wasn't many cutscenes going on in the game. There's very few in Turok 1. And it just throws you into the game. You have no idea what the freak is even going on. And I haven't confirmed this because I did not look it up. But if I had to guess, the little booklet that comes with the game had a plot synopsis of what's going on. And you could read it in the manual. I don't know. I didn't look it up. I'm just assuming because, back in the day, that's how this stuff worked. You'd get the Zelda manual, you'd look at it, you'd read the story, you'd figure out what's going on, who the characters are, because the game just throws you right into it. And Turok does the exact same thing. Once again, not confirmed if it's in the manual or not, but this is on the wiki and I wanted to read it because it's kind of freaking out there. Basically, Turok is just he's a Native American. He's, and I quote, this is from the wiki, a Native American time-traveling warrior. So let me just read this little snippet. This is the plot synopsis. The mantle of Turok is passed down every generation to the eldest male. Each Turok is charged with protecting the barrier between Earth and the Lost Land, a primitive world where time has no meaning. The Lost Land is inhabited by a variety of creatures, from dinosaurs to aliens. An evil overlord known as the Campaigner seeks an ancient artifact known as the Chronoscepter, a weapon so powerful that it was broken into pieces to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. The Campaigner plans on using a focusing array to magnify the Chronoscepter's power, destroying the barriers that separate the ages of time and rule the universe. Turok vows to find the Chronoscepter's 8 pieces and prevent the Campaigner's schemes. So yeah, there you go. There's the little plot synopsis, because once again, when you play the game, it just throws you right into it. You don't know what the freak's going on. Basically, you have this little hub world with, I believe, 8 different worlds that you can go visit, and you're supposed to find these 3 keys in these hub worlds. And I believe that's it. There's, different things to collect and whatnot. You can get new weapons, ammo, gems to get more lives, because there is a live system in this. You can get more health. It's basically Doom. This is what it feels like as Doom if you could aim in the 3D space and not just on the one plane. So you can X, Y, access, and plus you're moving around. Anyway, it's this game, I remember playing Turok 2 anyway back on the N64, and I hated the controls. Playing shooters on the N64 is just not a good time. This game, in my opinion, was built for a mouse and keyboard, and playing the remastered version on Steam was phenomenal. The movement feels good, aiming was fun, shooting felt awesome. The guns, there's so many different guns to mess around with and play with. I had a very good time with this. It's fun shooting dinosaurs. There wasn't a huge variety of enemies. Basically, you had human/alien looking things that all did about the same thing. I think you start off fighting tribal dudes, and then eventually towards the end of the game you end up fighting aliens with guns and stuff that fight back. There was very few dinosaurs that actually could shoot back. There was some raptors that would have guns you know, later down the line. Then there's these bigger guys that you could fight that also had guns. But like your threats, honestly, I didn't really die all that much. I didn't play on hard mode either, because I just don't play games on hard mode if I can not, because I just want to have a good time and play through it and not be stuck on the same section for hours and hours. However, there was one part where I did get stuck because I ran out of lives due to platforming. Like, you do a lot of platforming in this too, but I ran out of lives, had like 30 HP, and was struggling to get through a specific section. And I had saved before, you know, or I had saved after I'd ran out of all my lives and whatnot. So I was basically screwed, and it took me a while, but I ended up figuring that part out where I could get more lives and get through the sections. Once again, it was like the platforming was the real killer for me in this game. But you can also move faster going at an angle, so when I figured that out, it helped me when I was making longer jumps and whatnot. So, I mean, overall, I think this game is a fun time. I don't think it's perfect by any means, but for 1997, it's a pretty fun shooter. Like, the movement feels good, guns are great. There's lots of secrets in the levels to discover too. Once again, like, you have to find the keys in each mission, and there was only like 1 or 2 I think I had to look up of all the keys in the game. Like, some levels have 3 or 4, some of them have 2, maybe there was one that had more than 4, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But like, yeah, it was just a good time. It was fun. You know, you have the traditional saving where there's like actual save points you have to click on and then save the game. I just kept overwriting the same save, which in retrospect was not a good idea, because once again, about that one section where I was just getting stuck dying over and over again. Gaming over, mind you. Like, when you game over, it throws you back to the main menu. But I ended up figuring it out. Like, I don't think this game is... It's not amazing. I don't think I'll ever replay it. But if you haven't played Turok and you like those boomer shooter-esque games, like, this was a fun time. I'm definitely going to play through the rest of them. Like, for sure the N64 ones, and then potentially the Xbox, I believe is 360, that they did more there. So, yeah, I don't know. It's fun. Like, it's not a terribly long game. I beat it in about 5.5 hours. But it felt like the end game was pretty long. Like, the final area, getting to the final boss, was pretty tough. There are quite a few boss fights in here too that they were fine. Like, that's probably the word I would use to describe Turok, is fine. Like, it's enjoyable. It's not the greatest shooter I've ever played, but for 1997, my God, it was like, that's pretty fun, pretty good stuff. So, if you're gonna play Turok, the Dinosaur Hunter, I would recommend not playing on the N64, specifically because playing shooters on there is not fun. So I would play it on Steam if you can help it. I do believe that it's also on the Switch. I don't know if they've updated the controls for that though. So you can probably also emulate the game with modern controls as well. Once again, just find a way to play it with modern controls or you're probably not going to have a good time, because this game is very fast paced. But if you are playing on the N64, that jank aiming and movement is just not, it's not enjoyable. I would not recommend. So yeah, that is Turok the Dinosaur Hunter. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are down below. Let me know what you liked about the game, what you didn't like about the game. And once again, I eventually will be playing all the other Turok games. I don't know when I'm going to get to those, but eventually. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. And as always, keep it rad.